This program airs statewide on California Public Television and is a California's Gold classic. They arrive in Southern California every March just like clockwork, flying over 7,000 miles from their wintering grounds in South America. And one of their most famous destinations is the historic Mission San Juan Capistrano. They've been coming here to build their nest and hang out for as long as anyone can remember. And the marriage between these little birds and the mission have created one of our state's most colorful and endearing legends.
When the swallows come back to Capistrano, that's the day you promise to come back to me. When you whispered farewell in Capistrano, 'twas the day the swallows flew out to the sea.
You know it's March 19th at Mission San Juan Capistrano because there are always large crowds of people there, and everybody's looking up at the sky. It's St. Joseph's Day, the exact date the swallows are supposed to come back. For years on this day, the local school children and adults have been getting all dressed up in period outfits and participating in a day-long pageant to welcome the little swallows back home. It's a day filled with color, excitement, and anticipation. Where are the swallows?
Well, the swallows will be coming in anytime. When you see one, then there will be more following.
Really?
When the mission bells ring, they will surely be here.
You know, when I was a little girl in the Midwest, I've always heard the tale of the swallow. See how it chokes me up?
Yeah.
I love it.
Now, I understand you are one of the experts here in town.
Oh
so
boy,
we're
I'm in
trying
trouble.
to get a little bit of the history of the swallows at Mission San Juan Capistrano. What's the story? How did this whole thing, is this just a marketing thing, or is this based in fact?
Oh yes, definitely. It's very much based in fact. I forgot the year, but I think it was in the early 1900s when Father O'Sullivan came here to the mission to help restore these ruins to what you see today. There was an old legendary Juanino Indian that lived here. In fact, he was the last full-blooded Indian, and of the Juanino tribe, that is. And he told this marvelous tale about the return of the swallows that always come back on St. Joseph's Day, March 19th, which was also his birthday, incidentally.
When the swallows come back to Capistrano, that's the day you promised to come back to me. When you whispered farewell in Capistrano, that's the day the swallows flew out to the sea.
I think I've attended about 20.
Really?
Mhm,
And you've attended how many?
A lifetime, probably. He was born here.
Almost 90.
So you've seen a lot of swallows.
A lot of swallows.
And they always come back. They always come back.
Always come back from
What
Argentina.
did you do that for?
Well, some of the swallows drop a little bit here.
My great-great-grandfather, Don Juan Forrester, arrived here in 1830. He married the Mexican governor's sister. He married very well. And in 1844, he bought this mission, moved his family in here, and lived here until 1865 when President Lincoln returned it to the Catholic Church.
Now, do you think he was living with swallows part of that time?
Absolutely. The swallows have been coming back to San Juan Capistrano for many, many, many years.
So, did he write about that? How do you know he was with swallows?
Huell, the swallows have been coming back here for more than 10,000 years. They've been coming back for many, many years. We know that.
To this spot?
To this spot, yes, sir.
the swallows are here. They've been here most of the week, but they never come right on cue. They're here early in the morning, and if we're not out here bright and early in the morning, we miss the birds.
But the residents of San Juan Capistrano, you see these swallows year-round from the time they come until the time they leave in October, right?
We do. Most of them a good number of them will come here. They'll sort of rendezvous over the mission. They'll go up the valley here where there's some rough country and still some streams and food to eat, the fields. And then the rest of them will go up along Interstate 5 and inhabit the bridges over the Interstate 5 and the fields that are being irrigated.
How many swallows do you figure we're talking about total?
Oh gosh,
hundreds? Thousands?
No, I would say hundreds. Hundreds that we see here anyway.
Yeah. And did there used to be more?
Well, I don't know. There's stories about there used to be black in the sky with them, but I doubt those stories. They improve with age.
Yeah. We got music, we got people milling around. Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, just fine.
Well, the swallows are coming back.
Yeah, I saw about 3 or 4.
How many years you been coming to this event?
Oh God, I used to work here since 38 when I was in high school, yeah.
So you've seen a lot of swallows over the years.
Oh my, yeah, really a lot of swallows then.
Really?
Yes.
So there used to be more swallows.
Oh yeah, really. Because I'd be guiding, at that time we guided around.
But the tradition is still here. The swallows are still here.
That's true.
You look great today. Your name is?
Dolores.
And Dolores, her position here today is?
She is the matriarch. She is the oldest continuously living in San Juan Capistrano, descendant of the original settlers.
9 generations born.
9 generations.
Yes. And my dad was the last one buried here.
And this is our patriarch.
Oh, we've already met this fella. He's the one who told me that. He's the one who brushed my shoulder.
Well, a swallow flew over and got to watch those swallows.
Let's get a shot of the two of you together, the matriarch and the patriarch, here for the return of the swallows to Capistrano. That was very poignant, actually, to hear the bells ringing.
Yeah, it's a sign of that we're celebrating the swallows' return now, and that's the way we do it every year.
Now, this is something that's been a part of your family for how many years?
My grandfather started it when he was born here in 1895. He started in about 1910 or so. He learned how to ring them from Aku, the original bell ringer, Indian. And from then on, he's been doing it ever since he passed away in 94.
So your grandfather passed away in 1994,
right,
and you took up where he left off.
Right, but I used to ring him with him because we both worked here together. I worked with him.
And now that he's gone, who do you have ringing the bells with you?
My nephew, which is his great-grandson, Steve Chavez.
Wow, so you're really carrying on this wonderful tradition.
I certainly am.
The tradition of the swallows, the tradition of your grandfather, and the tradition of the bells.
Of the mission, right.
Now we're in for a treat. We are walking into the sacred garden with Raphael Rene. And Mr. Rene, your story here is a wonderful one because your father wrote the song When the Swallows Come Back to Capistrano.
That's correct.
What's the story?
Well, I'll give the short version. The short version, my mother was going to make breakfast that morning, and he was writing a song in the outside. And he had a piano, and he was writing a song. And so he was getting information from the radio about the swallows are coming back to Capistrano. He said, when the swallows come back to Capistrano, great, I'll make that the title. And before my mother would cook the big breakfast for him, she said, I'm not going to cook anything until you write the song.
Really?
So he wrote the song real fast, and it was a great song. He turned out to be the greatest.
Well, it was it a hit from the beginning?
It took a while, I'm sure about 6 months, but he got it to everybody. He had C.L. Burke, who was the first one to record it, and then everybody recorded it, 10 different bands, big bands. I mean, like Paul Whiteman, that was the early times.
Now, what year was this?
39, I think it was.
Wow.
Yes. I'm not sure, but I think it's 39.
Wow, what a wonderful, it's got such a beautiful melody.
Very, very pretty, and anybody can sing it except me. Oh, yeah, I sing it too at the Mission.
Well, it goes like, let's sing a little bit of it.
When the swallows come back to Capistrano, that's the day I pray that you come back to me. When you whisper farewell in Capistrano, 'twas the day the swallows flew out to the sea.
Holly, we're now going out into the courtyard for another swallow tradition here at the Mission.
Yes, Huell, we have a lot of traditions that come with the swallows, and I think you're going to see some in a minute.
This is one of them, and you're here because...
I have a granddaughter here. Her name is Alexandra.
And which little swallow is she?
She's this little one
right there. Well, I think this needs some explanation. Teachers, could you come over here and tell us just exactly what this is all about?
Well, traditionally for about the last 20 years at Mission School, the children, the students, have dressed up as birds to welcome back the swallows. Traditionally, these are the first graders, and the other classes dress up in Spanish outfits and dance traditional Spanish dances to welcome the swallows.
So it's the first graders who
Yes.
dress. Now, kids, turn around so we can see you. Are you trying to hide? Are you dressed as birds or as swallows specifically?
Swallows.
Swallows. Now, as chickens, who makes the costumes?
The parents make the costumes.
So this is kind of a tradition as well, that
Yes.
when your kid is in the first grade at the Mission San Juan Capistrano school, you've got to make a swallow outfit for them.
Yes, but then they pass them on down. So you see the
Many of
same
costumes.
costumes.
Yeah, many of the costumes are passed on year after year, so we use those. I've been here 11 years, and I've seen a lot of these costumes down the line.
Recycled swallow outfits.
Right, yes. Yes.
Well, it's fun, and it really is part of the tradition here, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Now we're getting down to the serious business of swallows. And Holly, there was a problem with swallows here just a couple of years ago.
Yes, our swallow count was down, and we were trying to figure out how to lure them back to the Mission, so we called in the experts.
And here are the experts right here. Hi, I'm Huell Hauser.
Hi, I'm Linda Evans with Pacific Wildlife Project.
And your name?
Monique, Ray.
Nice to meet you. Tell us why you were called in to the Mission.
We were called in the mid-90s because the swallow population at the Mission had declined.
Now, why was it declining?
What had happened was that there was earthquake damage to the Mission many years ago, and the Mission had to retrofit some of the buildings. And what they did was they quite literally lifted the roofs from the sidewall structures of the buildings here.
Where the nests were.
Eliminating the nests, exactly.
Well, now we have a little prop here. This is part of an actual swallow's nest, isn't it?
This is, and you can see...
Let's turn it over so we can see the outside first. It's very fragile. This is all made of mud.
Mud, and this represents approximately 1,500 trips. One little swallow, a little 20-gram bird with a mouthful of mud, making all of those trips back and forth to make this nest.
Now, would they use the same nest year after year after year?
They do tend to use the same nest. They use the same nest one time. They use the same nest year after year. They construct their nest, and each pair uses the nest one time, and then when they leave, another pair comes in and uses the ready-made nest. They're very accommodating that way.
Looking at this mud, look at this, Louie. When you see it up close, they're little drops of mud almost, little chunks of mud.
Tiny mouthfuls.
So they would bring back a mouthful of mud and just keep sticking it on here.
Exactly, and the whole process takes anywhere from maybe 8 days up to about 12 days. Each bird, the male and the female, with a mouthful of mud, flying up to the surface and putting one little mouthful at a time.
Now, is that why the swallows like Capistrano so much, is because of the mud? Is there a lot of mud around here?
Well, there's a lot of lore involved with the swallows returning to the mission, of course. In biological terms and practical terms, really the thing that attracts cliff swallows to an area are the three elements that are necessary for them to set up housekeeping. And that would be an abundant supply of insects, flying insects, water and dirt together, the mud, to build their house, and then, of course, a suitable surface for the mud to stick to.
Well, now we've done it. We've come up to the top of the roof of the mission. There's the old stone church being restored back there. And this is a view of the mission that very few people get. I feel very honored to be up here, but you all have brought us up here to show us something that is news to me, and I think would be news to most people, because when I looked at these swallow nests, they look exactly like the ones that we just looked at down in the courtyard.
Exactly. These are facsimile nests that we have put up here on the mission walls to encourage the swallows to colonize back here again.
To trick the swallows.
To encourage the swallows.
Because are they made out of mud, just like a real nest would be?
These swallows were designed and constructed by artist Lorraine Perry, who researched the mud that the swallows used for their nest. These nests are constructed of clay that has the right temperature capability, the right porosity, and the right texture, so that the birds will be encouraged to use them. Historically, facsimile nests have been very successful worldwide. And the idea is, because swallows like to use nests that are already there for them, they will come and build onto these nests, which is, of course, their habit.
Oh, they'll put more mud on top of them.
Exactly, and that's why these nests are constructed with some distance between the nests. Because,
so they can grow.
Exactly, because we want the swallows to come in, bring their mud from this location, and add on to this to build their colonies.
Because they have a lot of nests. I mean, 3 is not even near the amount they normally have. They have several colonies of nests clustered all together.
So there would be, well, wait a minute, now we saw those around here. This is what's interesting. This is like a condominium project gone amok over here. We've got 5 of them up here. Now, is that kind of what they really
It is.
look like?
It's very common in larger flocks for there to be maybe 20 to 50, upwards to 100 nests all grouped together in one single location. And this happens over a period of years. Some of the nests fall down, then are repaired by the birds, and then each year more nests are added on. So each consecutive year, the swallow colony actually grows, and it is a condominium complex.
Now, is it working? Are the swallows coming back to Capistrano?
They are coming back. They're coming back in small numbers because, as I mentioned before, all of the elements have to be there. There has to be mud, there has to be dirt and water, mud, and there has to be flying insects. We're providing the surface for them, and the administrators at the Swallow and the grounds people are providing them with the mud and insects at the appropriate time of year to encourage the swallows to come back.
Holly, can you tell a difference?
Oh yes, we can. And we've been feeding them ladybugs also. So we've been really encouraging them to come back to Capistrano, to the mission.
So you're helping them by building by putting up the nest, and they're not called artificial nests. You jumped all over me for saying that.
No, they're facsimile nests.
Facsimile nest. And so we've got the nest, and Holly is out feeding them ladybugs every day.
Every morning and every evening, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and about before 8 o'clock in the morning. They come out to eat in the early morning and then late afternoon.
And they like ladybugs.
They love ladybugs and flying insects. That's why Louis has a hard time catching them on film, is because they fly very high and very quick. They are so quick.
Now we have saved the absolute best for the last, because we are actually going to finally get to see some swallows.
Right. Now, these 3 birds that we're releasing today.
Now, wait a minute. Look, we got a whole crowd. These are our swallows that we met earlier, and we've hooked up with kids from another school as well, and they're all gathered around here. Tell us where we got these swallows. Is it all right for me to pick them up like this? Okay, tell us the story on these swallows.
Now, these swallows actually came to us. They were babies in the nest, that with a part of the nest that we looked at earlier, and that nest was knocked down by an angry homeowner. Now,
you mean the real nest that we saw a part of earlier?
Exactly. Their little home was disturbed. Now, the baby, the birds, the eggs, and the nests are actually protected under state and federal regulations. So it is a violation to knock down those nests when there's activity in there.
So these little birds were in the nest when somebody knocked it down.
Right.
It's amazing they survived. Have you been taking care of them?
Yes, Monique, our senior team leader.
You've been feeding them.
I've been feeding
Ladybugs?
No, it's mealyworms.
Mealyworms.
Yeah, ladybugs are flying around. Mealyworms I can handle and hold them in place and feed them. They start off with actually a baby bird formula initially when they're babies, not
Now,
worms.
are these babies now? Because I've never seen a swallow before. I don't know whether these are big swallows, little swallows. How many of you have actually seen a swallow standing still like this? Yeah, see, they're always moving, aren't they?
No, those are adults.
So this is really something, just to be able to see them.
Right, to see the markings up close, to see the under their throat is a little rusty color.
Look
Cliff
at these,
swallows have a
Louis. They're
light
really
colored chest.
Beautiful.
And cliff swallows do not have forked tails. That is a distinction for barn swallows. Cliff swallows are more of a what do you call it? Blunt tail.
Well, quite frankly, I think that's a moot point, because very few of us are ever going to be able to see whether they've got those kind of tails or not, right? All right, now, kids, we're all going to be part of something very exciting here, because what's getting ready to happen?
We're just about to release these guys.
You're going to turn your 3 little babies loose.
Right, and it's a big moment for me. I'm always apprehensive, but I also am glad that they've made it this far and can be released. So
Where are they going to go?
Straight up.
Straight up.
Right.
And then do you think they'll circle around?
They'll circle around and take note of where they are and look for bugs. Start looking for bugs.
Okay, how are we going to do this?
I'm going to probably have to take one out at a time. Linda and I
All right, let's move back a little bit, kids.
We'll need a lot of room, because they're not, I'll need a lot of room around them. I don't want anybody crowding over them. I want to be able to...
We don't want to spook them.
Spook them, right.
Okay, kids, y'all stand back just a little bit here, and we're going to let Monique take them out. This is exciting.
It really is fun.
Okay, there she goes. Oh, you're going to... Now, let's see if we can take a look at this one. You've got him right in your... Look at this, Louie. Right in her hand.
He's very eager to go.
He wants to go. All right, let's open
they're
up
beautiful
wide so we can see. Oh, look. Beautiful. Are we going to let them both go at the same time?
Yeah, we've got a third one. I'd like to maybe try to get the third one out.
Oh, so we want to let them go at all 3 of them together. Oh, wow.
We want
They're
them
gonna
to stay together. They've bonded. They're all buddies. So now they should go together.
And you want them to stay here at the mission, too, don't you?
We have our nest ready, waiting for them.
Okay, now...
We want them to be scouts, so the others will follow.
All right, here we go.
I wish them a happy life.
1, 2, 3. Oh! Oh, look, there's one.
We got to join them, Joe. Oh, they got friends that came to meet them. Yeah,
Oh, my
Look at
God.
the rest of the swallows coming for them.
Well, we're here in the courtyard and activity is picking up. There's a lot of excitement in the air. And Monsignor, we were talking a little bit earlier off camera, and you were talking to me about the concept that a lot of this involves faith, that the swallows are going to come back and that it's all part of something really in a way bigger than we are.
Indeed it is. God placed a wonderful instinct in the swallows, and I accuse them of wearing a watch because they come so on time and at the right moments. So, needless to say, they've been regarded as messengers of the great god Shinichnik for many years with the Ahashiman people. And so, needless to say, the tradition has been for many centuries.
So it started with the Indians and then came over into the mission days and now is part of today's history and culture as well.
Very much so. As a matter of fact, the legend goes that one of the innkeepers had chased them away, and the local padre invited the swallows over. And so they've been nesting in our arches ever since.
Well, it's a great story. And it's these kinds of things are important for us, aren't they?
They really are. The legend, the lore, the wonderful natural realities that do take place are certainly part and parcel of what makes life a little bit richer.
When the swallows come back to Capistrano, that's the day you promised to come back to me. When you whispered farewell in Capistrano, 'twas the day the swallows flew out to the sea. All the mission bells will ring, the chapel choir will sing, the happiness you bring will live in my memory. When the swallows come back to Capistrano, that's the day I pray that you come back to me.
Well, guess what? It's time again for those little swallows to come flapping back to Capistrano, with the big parade on Saturday, March 26th. Now, if you've never attended, this is a quintessential California event and well worth a visit. It's a lot of fun, and it's all about California history and tradition and the swallows.